My name is Eduardo Chavez. I'm 24 years old, and I'm not actually a farm worker. Let me take you back to where it all began.
Why don't you come with me so far away? Just take the night off and the next day leave your cares behind. And
This is where I grew up, Hillsborough, California, a suburb of San Francisco, and the 7th wealthiest place in the United States. I was born September 25th, 1991. I have an older brother named Sam and a younger sister named Paloma.
Oh my gosh, look how little you are. Look at me now. I'm the daughter of Cuban refugees. My father, Max Lesnick, fought side by side with Fidel Castro to overthrow the Batista regime. But when Fidel Castro aligned himself with the Soviet Union, my father left to Miami, and that's where I was raised.
I spent most of my childhood with my mother's side of the family. I really didn't get to know my dad's side of the family that well.
God, they played every sport. This is Pebble Beach. Remember we used to go for Thanksgiving?
My dad had his own successful law practice, so he was able to spend a lot of time with us as kids. He introduced my brother and I to the game of golf at a young age, and ever since I can remember, I wanted to be a professional golfer.
until that you and I are flying high.
When Sam and Eduardo were little, they were obsessed with golf. So we'd take them to Granada Golf Course in Miami. But we were there for hours because the ball would never advance. And Andrew, I thought, Fernando, these kids do not have talent. He said, Miriam, trust me, they do have talent. So I trusted him, and golf became their lives.
And then they took to it, and then they started playing, bigger junior tournaments, and then they started playing more competitive. And then Eduardo qualified for the U.S. Amateur, Sam qualified for the U.S. Amateur, and Eduardo played college golf, and Sam played college golf, and still playing golf.
Golf was all I knew. I had been playing every day since I was 10 years old. After playing for 2 years professionally, I needed to take a break and explore life outside of the game. I decided to pack up my bags, and I set off alone to explore the world. After returning from my travels, I decided to try out something completely different. I enrolled in acting classes.
Because she's too messed up to let you leave.
Look, he's my son. I love him. I can't just leave him. You drove me half insane for a goddamn magazine article, Andy.
I got the same rush from acting that I used to get from golf.
That's big. I like that.
He was more outgoing and more verbal, and I think connected more with people. The golf is a solitary. You connect with the ball and the club, and there's no need to really talk to anyone.
So, are you a Chavez or are you off the other side?
Chavez, yeah, Chavez.
Chavez?
Yeah, I'm a Chavez, yeah.
Last name Chavez.
Last name Chavez. My dad is
I
Chavez.
know your dad.
Yeah.
I know your dad. I know the whole family, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a longshoreman, bro.
Oh,
so
okay.
we represent you guys
The
big down
union,
the
that's
docks,
right.
bro.
Yeah.
I should
This
have
kind
you
of
come
thing
down
happens
one
to
day.
me all the time.
That was us too.
People say they know my dad's side of the family, even though they've never met them.
The police began to jail our people. We were not known, and no one would come to our support. We were hungry and frightened and in need of help.
That's Cesar Chavez. He was a farm worker, a labor organizer, a civil rights icon. He was also my grandfather. That's me with my tati Cesar. Yes, I'm wearing a dress. I can thank my mom for that. These are the only 2 photos of us together. He passed away shortly after.
An estimated 25,000 people came to this dusty farm town to pay their respects to Chavez. Political figures, celebrities, farm workers. It is the farm workers, mostly Mexican immigrants, who will remember Chavez as champion, dreamer, and leader.
I believe that his legacy will be rich, and to the whole country, a legacy of nonviolence, a legacy in the tradition and the spirit of Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and Bobby Kennedy.
That's my father, Fernando, the oldest son of Cesar. When I was growing up, he really didn't tell me much about Cesar. My only real connection to my grandfather is through my grandmother, Helen. And even then, I'm not as close to her as I would wish. I learned what I could about my grandfather from books, movies, and even the internet. I'll let President Obama tell you his life story.
But the truth is, we would not be here if it weren't for Cesar. Growing up as the son of migrant workers who had lost their home in the Great Depression, by the time he reached 7th grade, Cesar estimated he had attended 65 elementary schools, following the crop cycles with his family, working odd jobs, sometimes living in roadside tents without electricity or plumbing. It wasn't an easy childhood, but Cesar always was different. After serving in the Navy during World War II, Cesar returned to the fields. No one seemed to care about the invisible farm workers who picked the nation's food. But Cesar cared. A march that started in Delano with a handful of activists. That march ended 300 miles away in Sacramento with a crowd of 10,000 strong. A boycott of table grapes that began in California eventually drew 17 million supporters across the country, forcing growers to agree to some of the first farm worker contracts in history. Where there had once been despair, Cesar gave workers a reason to hope. And he believed that when a child anywhere in America can dream beyond her circumstances and work to realize that dream, it makes all our futures just a little bit brighter.
Sometimes I feel like everyone knows him except for me. I see his name and his face everywhere, but I couldn't feel any less connected to him.
Good.
Why are you guys doing a documentary on
Cesar. On Cesar Chavez. Okay, so basically, that's my grandfather.
Oh, my
No
God.
shit.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
mackerel. So we are
No.
used to you. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Oh, wow. Your
Yeah.
grandfather and that movement provided a vessel, an opening actually, for people to be able to become empowered and to hear their own voice and to be able to say, yes, we can do this.
So where did you guys grow up?
We grew up in East LA.
In LA,
and
okay.
I grew up in the 60s.
You felt prejudice.
It was
Right.
It was crazy.
We're on a busy street and my grandfather's name is just like there. His face is there, turn around. His name is on a street sign.
How's that been though, like growing up with that name attached to you?
I wouldn't say it's been difficult, I would just say it's been strange. Even for me, like it's so hard to like humanize my grandfather. Most people are lucky that they get to like have some sort of memories with their grandfather and if their grandfather, you know, happened to pass away when they were young, they have like personal memories with him, right? And like personal facts and tidbits from their parents. Like everything that I know him from is like from like
Just stuff you've heard through other people.
It's
so
like
it's not even.
it's like how the public knows.
Yeah.
It's almost like I know him like you guys know him.
So you can't really necessarily like really miss somebody you didn't know.
Exactly. All these years later, it's kind of been covered up by graffiti and paint, and that's kind of how I feel in my life. Like I have this like famous grandfather, but it's just been like covered up by time and just disconnection.
But Eduardo did tell me something when he finished golf. He decided he wasn't going to play golf anymore. He said, "Mommy, what am I going to talk to Papa about?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yes, my whole relationship with Papa is based on golf. What am I going to say to him?"
Hey, Papa. What is it?
My name is Fernando. I'm the eldest of our 8 children. I want to thank you for coming today to pay tribute to my mother, Helen Fabella Chavez. It was dark, cold, and foggy, and I was going to work in the fields for the first time. After the first week of working 70 hours, I earned $70. When I was paid, I gave it to her. She told me, "Polly, without your help," she stopped. Her voice was crackling, but I knew what she meant and what it meant to her. I sent a text to my son, Eduardo. I said, "Mom is passed." I think his reply says it all. He said, "Those type of people come around once. These are the people they say don't come back again. They live right once. I love you, Mom."
I'm 24 years old, and it's the first time I've ever heard my dad talk about working in the fields. It's also the first time I'd ever seen him cry.
So when do you leave again?
Tomorrow. And I just started packing. We leave at 5 a.m. and I just started packing. I didn't even have like the clothes that I was gonna wear. I didn't even like for the actual work. I didn't even have it till like an hour ago when I bought it.
So like what?
Yeah, so it's like I'm just a little stressed right now.
So
and you know I never get stressed.
So why are you like doing this whole thing? Like why are you going?
Why am I what do you mean? Why am I going to like work in the fields?
Makes you want to go do that, yeah.
It's just one of those things, you know? What is it like? What does everyone say when they know, like, oh, who your grandfather is? Like, oh, he's the farm worker guy, right? So he was a farm worker, and I just want to go and do farm work to just understand. Maybe something will come of it. Who knows?
Let me catch your eyes in the fading light, glowing with the embers dancing through the night. I'm falling.
¿Dos? Porque él no va a picar uno. Él no. Son 5 nomás. Que él entiende que no.
Aquí, a este lado.
Dice Genaro que te explique.
Sí, sí.
Esto es pura maña. Este es el jalón.
El jalón.
Sí. Sí, puedes agarrar de uno o de dos. Sí.
Se la jales. Ahí está bien. I feel like I'm getting the hang of just the physical motion, not at the speed that everyone else is doing it, but check back in me in 10 hours. This is insane. I mean, doing this every day it's unfathomable. Well, how long have we been out here? An hour? It's unfathomable. The cutting isn't so hard, it's just like finding where the, like where the vine is, where it's not the branch, where it's thick, it's like where the vine's actually growing, so then it falls right off. When I first did it, I was like pulling or cutting. You just pull. Imagine if I was picking even at the rate, half the rate they're picking. I was talking to my dad, and we were talking about the farm worker overtime, how they don't get paid overtime. And he was saying you should go to those legislators, the ones that voted against the bill, and you should say, how about you go try and do this for an hour, let alone a full day, let alone 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And then maybe you'll vote differently on that. It's amazing, man. Not even halfway. You're back. You're at like this mid-level the entire time, and there's no way you can't get like enough strength to just stand up straight. You're at like this crouch level the entire time, and it's just my back is like already killing me. It's amazing. I look over and it's just like every time they pull out of mine, it's like half their bucket fills. just the first few hours, but the first thing comes to mind is that my dad did this when he was, yesterday he told me 14 years old. I mean, I'm 24 years old. I feel like, you know, physically 24 is like as fresh as you're gonna be. He was just a little kid doing this. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me. It's not only the physical strength, but the mental fortitude just to keep going and going. I mean, this is just my first 3 hours. I don't know what to expect in the future after doing this. Back when my dad was working, this is probably half day. And then grab a soda and do another 6. Day 2. Woke up about 4:30 this morning, feeling super sore. My legs are sore, my toes, my back, my lower back especially sore. But got up and here, with my crew, and be working with the same people I worked with yesterday, and get started and get some grapes. Feel the same. If anything, it's harder because my body's a little tired. Yesterday I kind of got adrenaline to kick me through, but this morning it's kind of like I woke up and I knew what to expect, so not any easier. And I don't think it'll get any easier. Only gets harder, especially when the sun comes out.
Pero yo di que me la diera, no di que la aventaras.
Today's pretty rough. I just asked somebody what time it is, and they told me 2. They told me we've only been doing this for 2 hours. It feels almost like the full day yesterday. Went underneath the rope for nothing because the truck left. Go through, you think you like back off and you like look to see if you cleared out the area, and then you just dig through the vines more and you're like, oh no, you're not even halfway done.
Aguas con los tenis, aguas con los tenis.
DJ. DJ. ¿Sabes por qué no pasa la chingadera así?
After my first couple days of working in the fields, my dad decided to stop by and see how I was doing.
So how was your first day?
Without anything, before you start anything, you start straining yourself. You do this, and this is it, hours on end. And when it gets to that point in the day where my back is like super tight, like at the end of the day, anytime that I come up, it's like a relaxation. It's like stress relief. And then you can do 10 seconds, you be up, and then you come back down and you strain again.
Now they're making what here, about $10 an hour?
I think, I'm not exact sure on the number, but I think about 10. Yeah, the wage. What was it back then?
$1.
$1 an hour?
$1 an hour.
Oh my
$1
God.
an hour. And after they took taxes out, which I don't think they ever paid, I think the labor contract just pocketed. He says, all the taxes, and then they charge you for a ride.
To get you out there, they charge you like what, like 50 cents?
But you know, after 50 years, are things any better? I don't know. I haven't been in here, haven't been in one of these fields in 40 since I left.
Really?
This is the first time I come back.
First time?
Yeah, why? There was no need for it.
There's no need, you don't want to go back.
As my first day off was approaching, I was thinking about what to do. I heard that people were going to Sacramento to show support for a bill in the California state legislature to grant farm workers overtime pay.
So we're here in Sacramento at the Capitol, and today's the day where the assembly votes on the overtime bill. And I don't know, everybody's pretty hopeful. The UFW's bust in like 200 farm workers from all across California. They all work in different crops, and yeah, it's just kind of tense times, and we're gonna see what happens. The bill is voted on at 1 o'clock. It's like noon right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Let me introduce you to Ms. Xochitl. She works for the state Senate on Spanish language media, and for years she was with Univision.
Oh, okay.
And I was just telling her about what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
¿Tú eres el nieto de Cesar Chavez?
El nieto, sí.
No me
Uno de los
digas.
nietos, sí.
His father is Cesar's oldest son.
¡Qué bárbaro! Si te
Sí.
pareces a la familia.
Sí.
Ahí venía y se quejaba afuera y yo iba y lo entrevistaba o traía gente para así como un rally. Y los jóvenes no se acuerdan muy bien de quién es él. Y eso es muy malo.
Sí, estoy...
Ojalá tú puedas ser esa voz para que tus jóvenes como tú se concienticen.
Sí, claro. Ahora yo estoy trabajando como campesino en un winery en Napa.
¿Y eso?
Sí.
¿Por qué?
Para mejor aprender el trabajo que hizo mi papá cuando tenía chiquito.
Cogiendo ahorita.
Uvas. Uvas, es un winery.
Las legendarias, legendarias uvas de tu abuelo. ¡Qué maravilla! A estar feliz tu abuelito viéndote.
Sí.
Affect the dignity of the House. If you truly believe that, this bill needs to be referred to committee, and I make a motion that it be referred to the Labor Committee.
Joint Rule 54C. The argument does not apply.
So I just got out of the assembly, and there was like 2 hours of debates from both sides going back and forth, and they finally voted and it passed. It's crazy. Some of the stories from the people that were voting aye, voting yes, a lot of them had farm worker family members, like fathers and grandfathers, and some of their stories were really touching. Even though it's just been a few days, I understand that difficulty of the work and how farm workers just want to get treated just like every other employer in the state. So it's an amazing day. It's history, and it's crazy to be here. It's pretty surreal. Back at it again, another day. See how many grapes we can get off the vines. The sun is out today, it's a little hotter. I'm more like physically, because of the tossing, I'm like physically exhausted every time. After doing this work, it's ridiculous. It's the hardest thing in the world. I mean, I would like someone to be able to find a harder job. It makes me sad. I mean, better now, but still, even then, it's just a small step. Not till 2022, in increments, will these workers in these fields get full overtime. I mean, it's a start, but that's still not enough. Went 12 hours yesterday, and today I was talking to them and they were saying, this really depends how many grapes need to be picked. So, through the heat, through whatever the conditions are, you just keep pushing. Keep pushing until the day's over. Más fácil piscar con el cuchillo. No.
También con la tijera, pero
¿Y tú?
puede ser más fácil con esto.
Sí,
Pero,
así se hace rapidísimo. Ahorita.
ahora va a jugar, ¿no?
¿Qué?
Ahora va a jugar
¿Ahora?
con Salvador.
¿Hoy? Sí. ¿A qué hora?
6, creo.
A las 6, en Azteca. Qué rápido piscas.
Pisca.
Sí.
Rápido.
Yo aprendiendo, pero todavía muy lento.
Oh, sí, así es el principio.
El principio.
Sí.
Y después aprendes poco a poco.
Poco a poco se va haciendo.
Sí, más práctica, como todo, práctica. ¿Vas a ver el partido hoy? ¿Sí? ¿A dónde?
En Santa Rosa, ya uno.
¿A dónde viven? ¿En Santa Rosa? ¿Haces esto? Piscando las uvas. Hace tiempo, mucho tiempo piscando uvas.
Oh, 72.
72.
El 72.
Todo aquí en Napa.
Aquí en Napa. En Napa y en Sonoma, en Hillsburg,
Sí.
Calistoga.
Calistoga por todo el área.
Toda el área, sí. Toda el área aquí de...
¿Usted es mexicano o qué? ¿O este de aquí?
Bueno, nací aquí en los Estados Unidos, pero mi papá es mexicano y mi mamá cubana.
Cubano.
Cubana, sí.
For the first time, I felt I wasn't working in the fields alone. Not only did talking to the farm workers make time go by faster, but I really enjoyed hearing about their lives and their stories.
Sí. Él estaba en México ayer. Sí, ayer. El primer hora que estoy ahí en el White House. No, sí.
I thought it was really cool that they would invite me to their house for a birthday party. I hadn't told anyone who I was. I didn't want any special treatment. They treated me just like one of the guys.
Muchas veces. No se queja eso. No va a tocar. No. A veces llega a la compañía donde yo trabajo. Lo hemos enseñado. Enseñar a los muchachos. Pero no se acostumbra a trabajar. Yo como ya acostumbré a trabajar,
Ya
no
tienes
siento nada.
nada, todo el día cansado. Es un trabajo muy pesado. Sí. Yeah, today's been a long day. It's hot, but you know, today I felt like I really made some nice connections with these other workers. Man, they have some amazing stories, and it's been great the last few days to talk to them and to hear about their lives. It's backbreaking work, and they're not appreciated enough. Want to be treated equally as everyone else. But being out here and experiencing this with these people, and they're such good people. Today, I mean. This is like hard to say, but we were working and they had a little bag and they brought lunch, and he was telling me that it was just like Oreos and sodas, and it was like he spent almost his whole day's pay on those snacks, and there wasn't any left over, and he gave me his soda. It's like the people that have the least have so much to give. It's so amazing. This experience has changed my life. I don't really know what else to say.
Nosotros lo invitamos a
un restaurante.
Sí,
claro, vamos. No hay que invitarme, no. Es el gusto mío.
Sí, también nosotros.
Pero
tenemos
no.
derecho pues,
No hay que hacer eso. Ustedes me dieron una experiencia que nunca se va a olvidar de toda mi vida.
How was it? How was the experience?
I thought it was a great experience. I think I after doing this, I feel like I know so much more.
Well, I think this is the start. I think you need to go to Delano. That's like kind of the cradle, the history of your grandfather.
To Delano?
When things started, I think you need to go there. It will be a good experience. There's a lot of history there and a lot of places you can visit to get a better idea.
Delano, a little town in the middle of nowhere, California, where my grandfather chose to make his first stand as an organizer of farm labor. I heard this was the Jerusalem of my grandfather's movement, but ironically, I had never been here before. It wasn't always an easy life for my grandfather and his family. He had many opportunities to leave Delano, but there was something that kept him from leaving. The first place my dad took me to in Delano was the 40 acres. This was the first headquarters of the United Farm Workers, the union my grandfather started.
This is my son, Eduardo.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good.
First time you've been here?
Yeah, I've never been here before.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, I don't know about your dad.
Actually,
He
no.
should have been here more often, and he should have brought his children.
That's why he's doing this.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi. Nice meeting you.
And then look, this is what the house actually looked like when we lived.
Oh, that's it.
That's everybody, except me.
You're the only one not in this
Yeah,
picture?
I don't know where I was. Who knows? But you can see right here, that was the little house we lived in. That was 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 10 people lived there, sometimes 12 and 13. I don't even know where we stayed, where we slept. There was any room there, but there was. Because then we were going through very difficult times in terms financially, and I mean just having enough food to eat, thanks to family members and going out. And I remember right about that time, we went out to a field that had been picked, potatoes. We picked up what was left over, put them in some bags, big sacks, and for the next months we had French fries, scallop potatoes, we had baked potatoes, mashed potatoes, you name it, we'll find a way to make potatoes. Dad said, I've been offered a job by the Johnson administration. They would like me to head up the Peace Corps in Latin America. I mean, none of us knew what the Peace Corps was. So he said, I'm going to, if we leave, these are all the positive things. You'll be able to go probably to better schools. Your mom will have help. You'll have maybe your own bedrooms, and I'll have plenty of money, and we'll live very, very, very good lifestyle, and we won't have to suffer. But if I do that, I won't be able to organize farm workers. But I'm going to let you decide, because in this family, we're very democratic, and we're going to have a vote. We're going to have a ballot, secret ballot. So everyone got a piece of paper, my mom, dad, and we're going to vote, go or stay. Go meant we take the job, stay meant we stay and organize farm workers. So, everybody folded up and he put it into a little plastic bowl, mixed them around, and said, told my mom, why don't you read them? So she picked it up. And the first one was stay, and it was stay, 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 and like the 5th one said go. And everybody was kind of, surprised that somebody would say go. And he finished reading them, and there was only one go. And my dad said, I don't want anybody to ask who voted to go. This was a secret ballot, and everybody had the right to make their own decision. And everybody wanted to know. So, well, we should know who did it. And my little brother Anthony stood up and said, I voted to go because I'm tired of eating potatoes every day, and I want to have my own bedroom. So that's how that decision was made. And that's how a lot of decisions were made.
The union started to take off, and the 40 acres became a place where farm workers could receive services and support for their daily needs. People from all walks of life began to support the movement. Someone who was there from the beginning was my great aunt, Dolores Huerta. She and my grandfather co-founded the United Farm Workers Union. She also coined the phrase, "Si se puede."
Over there, we can go over there. Over there's where they, I can talk, there's a good history there, why they did that there. This was a gas station.
You can tell like that's where the pumps would have been right here.
Pumps were right
They covered the pumps.
Right there.
Yeah.
The pumps. They built it, the gas station, because what they figured was, okay, what is it that farm workers really need?
Right.
They need to have their cars fixed, and they need gas to get to and from work.
Right,
so
right.
we're going to build a gas station to service their cars and sell gas cheap.
Ah.
So they built this gas station.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea.
That's a
Organizing
good idea.
a lot of things he did with a foresight. Okay, how is this going to help us in our organizing efforts?
Yeah.
Forget, it didn't make money.
Yeah,
They
no,
never made
not
money.
money.
It was to help. It was to people say, "Oh wow, they're providing a benefit."
Yeah.
So that's why they had these pumps here, and gas station here, and sometimes he would come and work here, pump gas.
Really?
Yes. This was where they first voted to go on strike.
And how come it was the Filipinos that were first?
They were part of the FL-CIO. It's called the AWOC, Agricultural Organizing Committee, and they took a vote. They wanted to go, and Tati said, "Oh, we're not really ready to go." They said, "We're going."
And they just went.
I said, "We gotta go." They go, "We gotta go." So they went.
My grandfather went on 3 long hunger fasts in his life. He believed in sacrificing himself for a greater cause. This is the room where he did his last fast at 61 years old.
I think even the pitcher and the glass are the same.
Wow. Like
It was 36 days, right?
simplicity.
People would come by, say hello, how you doing? And then at the end, the last 4 or 5 days was really hard.
Wow.
It's pretty much the way I remember it.
Just like this?
Yeah, it was like that. But this was very hard on anybody.
So did this contribute to him dying at a young age?
It didn't help, that's for sure.
It didn't help. Wow. That's the definition of dying for your cause.
Fasting brought national attention to my grandfather's movement, but few people realized the strain it put on the family. My dad was opening up to me for the first time about his past. I can't believe it took us 24 years to have these conversations. He had told me a lot of crazy stories, but nothing could prepare me for what I was about to hear. It was the summer of 1973. My dad was the same age I am today. He was picketing at this exact location in support of the farm workers who were on strike.
There's a guy sitting in a pickup truck. Somebody throws a dirt clod. It hits him in the side of the head. He goes ballistic. He runs to his truck. He gets the gun, a rifle. And he starts shooting. He says, "I want to kill you, SOBs." And I am standing probably over here. So I said, this guy's got a gun. I said, Mark, let's go. So I run back here and he starts coming down the field with a rifle. I run over here, there's a car here. I don't know whose car it was. I run behind the car and I get behind the wheel and I'm looking underneath and I can see him walking this way shooting. Just shooting, I can hear the bullets going, but my little brother Birdie, next to the wheel, right? And he's shooting and out of nowhere, I'm like this here and I look this way and there's a little girl here about 15 years old. I can hear the bullets whistling in the grass and she's right there and she is hysterical. She's screaming. She's just screaming. She's not moving. And I can see the bullets whizzing and I can see them shooting right by her feet. So I steal the wheel and I run over here and I grab her and she starts fighting me. I was holding her down because she wanted to run and I could look underneath the car. I could see he kept coming, kept shooting and shooting. And there's nowhere to run and I'm thinking, where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? And he keeps walking and he keeps screaming and he keeps walking and shooting and shooting. I look and we're the only car here. Don't ask me why we're the only car here. The only car was parked here and everybody else is like out by that pole. I'm looking underneath the car and I'm saying, oh my God. I'm thinking he's coming. I'm thinking, okay, and I was telling Mark, when he comes around, we need to move to the side of the car. We need to move to the side of the car. And thank goodness, he ran out of bullets.
Oh, he ran out of bullets.
He ran out of bullets. As a matter of fact, that next day, in another strike, they killed a farm worker. Jesus Del Cruz was killed that next day.
I was the first one killed, right?
Yeah. The very next day after that incident, with us, he was killed. The very next day, he was killed. There was a lot of animosity, a lot of anger. It was a threat to the system that had been in place for
years.
Who knows how long. And the threat, economic threat, but also a threat that, this will change, this will be a game changer. This will change everything.
Yeah.
And it did. It was a game changer.
Going to Delano was a walk through my family's history, but it also opened up my eyes to the trauma my dad experienced as a kid. I realized that was the reason my dad never opened up to me about his past. On the way back to LA, we decided to stop at the graves of my grandparents. Having seen what my family had been through, in the fields and in Delano, I had a newfound appreciation for how their sacrifices benefited the lives of so many people.
When he came back from the fields, he called every single day about the farm workers that he met. All the generosity of heart. He maybe thought, wow, this is amazing, and sort of like a part of life that he never even knew existed.
I remembered seeing my grandfather's image covered in graffiti, and it just didn't seem right. So I called the artist who made the mural and asked him to meet me there.
My name is John Zender Estrada. I'm here in East Los Angeles on Evergreen and Cesar Chavez, restoring a 1994 mural of the struggles and the life of Cesar Chavez. And the title of the mural is called Rescate.
You were saying earlier your dad worked in the fields.
Yeah, in the early 70s.
You guys lived here and then he would go
up?
up?
East LA in the 70s, and him and his friends and all his other would I remember they would just say, we'll be back. It would be like this trip.
Yeah.
We'll be back, we'll be gone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I remember as a little kid, I was must have been like 3, 4 years old, going,
Yeah.
Where's he going? So they would go, and then they would come back, you know, darker.
Darker.
And I was approached by the Conservation Corps to do a couple of murals that would help educate the community as to who Cesar Chavez was. And a lot of the Chicano from Los Angeles always felt that what happened with Chavez is a northern thing. You know, farmers. We're not farmers. And that's because they failed to realize that our fathers drove. Oh, my dad literally would go every pizca. They call them the
La pizca, yeah. Even Latino kids, young kids, they live in cities. They're like, oh, that's a farm worker thing. You know, that's for like people that were picking grapes. Like, I'm from LA. Like, I have nothing to do with that. If you're Mexican American, it's part of your history.
Art is a gift that I need to share with people and kids. And like, I wish I could do more, but it's hard.
But that's amazing though. That's like you're using art to educate young people, and the young people that used to teach, you said, right? Used to teach them. Then now you can, you know, give them opportunity. I mean, I guess it's better than money. You're educating people, you know.
Yeah.
And you're keeping a story alive, you know.
Exactly.
Today is Cesar Chavez Day, so I reached out to a local school to see if they would let me speak about my grandfather's legacy. I wanted to do an activity with the kids to show them how my grandfather benefited the lives of so many farm workers.
Raise your hand if this is easier than the short tool. How much easier? A lot easier, right?
Cesar Chavez Day is supposed to be a day of service. But to be completely honest, this is the first time I've ever volunteered on the day named after my grandfather.
Was your back hurting? Yeah. Could you imagine doing it for 10 hours? Was it easier with the long one when you could stand up? It was easier, right? It still wasn't very easy, but it was easier, right? So isn't that cool that my grandfather was he was one of the people that was responsible for making this tool illegal. And the farm workers were able to work in better conditions because they were able to use the long tool, and it was longer stick, and you know, their backs were very thankful. Yeah, it just, you know, doing these kind of things, I haven't done a lot of these kinds of things in my life, and speaking about my grandfather and his legacy, but it makes me feel like really good. I can't really describe, there's something there that how I feel about sharing his story to young people.
I started to speak at universities about my journey. This is my first step in honoring the legacy of my grandfather. He showed us the way. Now we must follow the path.
Give me love and I'll give you my love.